Do it. Do it. So I'm doing this video for 3 reasons. So the number one, I just saw a video of Tolu Lopez Solution saying that she wanted to homeschool. Well, it didn't say she wants to homeschool. Well, but it's like you want to force this homeschool on everyone. Well, it didn't say that. I just saw homeschooling in the title, and I went through, and she was sitting with the child, and I'm like, oh, do it, just do it already. But I just want to encourage you, if you don't have to work for money, like you don't have to be out there, you okay, just give your children like 5 years minimum if you can, and raise them at home, teaching them. I know a lot of people think about teaching your children as, oh, they're going to be the best scientists and what, but that is not really the main reason why people homeschool. It's about the character, the family relationship, the trust. A lot of children today, if you ask them like, hey, can you go ask your mom this, they'll be like, hey, there's no trust. Like, kids feel like their parents don't know anything, like they're dumb. And it's really start young when we tell them that everything they need is out there, and we give their raising up to people to do. We kind of lose that connection. And we know in this age, it's even harder because, to be honest, my child, when she is independent enough, she will not need me. Everything is on the internet. And so we need to create that foundation that, hey, I'm still like somebody you can trust, somebody that you can depend on, someone that God brought you into my life that I should guide and raise. And the time that you do that is at these formative years. Another reason why people normally homeschool is for the harmony in the home. Just because there's one person who is almost like, and it's not that if you homeschool or you stay home that you can't work on the side. The truth is that a lot of people do not depend on that side income. It's more like extra. I don't want to lie to you like, oh yeah, you can homeschool and then you make, most people in the beginning do not really depend on that side money, especially when the kids are really young and they need so much. Unless you have an extra help who takes care of like admin and other things for you, then yeah, you can totally do that. But if it's just you and your spouse like us, in the beginning, you just have to make sure that you can depend on the one person's income. And so the harmony, the family relationship and all that is what people go after when they homeschool. It is the mental health of the home and just making sure that you are forming those foundations before the kids go out. The teaching really, most people who homeschool are not really interested in when I say the teaching, I'm talking about what everybody knows that you're doing, like math and all those things. It's not really big for us. There are things that come naturally. If your child is, that's the way that God is sending them to, it comes naturally if the emotional side is good. And that's why there's a code. I should have saved it, but it says, I'm paraphrasing it. If you take care of the emotional side of your kids, like the emotional intelligence, you said that the foundation is good, they are able to learn anything. And I can tell you for a fact, for people that were high achievers at school, is that a lot of the things are not really about smartness the way we think. It's just a test of discipline. And so if you bring up your children in the right way, they can really take up anything as they grow. Another reason why you want to look into this homeschool thing is that the world is changing. And as time goes on, a lot of things we are being, it's not being hidden anymore. It's in our faces, it's in the faces of our kids, it's in the schools, and you don't want your child to be like, it's like you put them in this place where they are continuously being bombarded by things that you deem not to be okay. And it's like, why do you keep sending me to this place? Some people have given the excuse that, well, we are Christians and we have to be out there. But your child is lost. Your child is lost like the people you are sending them to. For most of us, I'm talking about this age group, 6, 3, 7. Most of them have not received Christ yet. And then you send them out and you say God wants us to be in the community. But that's not even the community. They are sitting inside a building and they are being instructed on the way to go. So that is not how discipleship or witnessing works. You know, you are not being instructed by Caesar on what to do and what not to do. So that is one thing that people always say, that God don't want us to, you know, like seclude ourselves and not be with the people. You are in the community where you live. There are people, you don't even talk to your neighbor, but you're like, I'm sending my child out there because we are Christians. It is just an excuse. And I know I used to say all these things as well. But I just wanted to take advantage of her mentioning homeschool, just because she's a big influencer, to say, hey, if you guys have any questions on homeschooling, put it in the comments. I want to make a Q&A and answer all those questions for you. Of course, I will not have all the answers, but I will be sure to direct you to a great resource where you can get those answers. I know people are like, what about socialization? It's the biggest question that people ask. What about teaching? I can't teach math. I can't do this. I can't do that. Ask me your questions. I will be happy. I find it very hard to just come and do videos like, hey. I do well if people ask me questions. So that's the first reason why I'm doing this video. The second reason is that, all right, and the second reason, and everybody wants to know, like, where have you been? 6 months, but I'm back. Okay, be happy, I'm back. Ta-da! Okay, calm down, don't worry. So I am back from Ghana. I went home for some time. I've been telling Chris that I need a leave, you know. To be honest, for the longest time, I'm like, we need to relocate back. I think I was just tired and just mommy stuff. So I had to take a break. I went back home for almost a month really. And then I came back and I was like, excuse me, was this the work I was doing before I left? This is so, being a housewife is so ghetto. I can't do this. But it's been the hardest thing, trying to get back into that, you know, routine. And I'm like, I don't think I want to do this anymore. I'm sorry. But it's been really slow, steady, and I think I'm beginning to get into the groove of things. Ghana was fun, absolutely. It was really different. Like, you know, when you just need a new environment. And we kind of did a lot of outings while we are here. We don't really do big vacations that much because of many reasons. But yeah, anyway, so I'm back. And I guess your next question, which will be my last reason, is, are you back to doing consistent videos? A lot of people ask me, Doreen, you have to do consistent videos. You have to be consistent. If you want your channel to grow, you have to be serious. Girl, people, I'm serious, okay? I'm serious. It's just that the serious is not serious. It's like, but to be honest, I came to the YouTube like with all this energy, and I was really like, I'm going to do this, because my reason for even coming to YouTube the first time, because this is not my first channel, was really, I'll tell you the story another time, but it wasn't even about, you know, brand. That time YouTube was YouTube, okay? And people will find you and they will enjoy you. And it was more like a body doubling thing for me, relocating and not having anyone. And so I'll put the camera and I'll just be doing some nonsense. And then the videos will be there for the longest time on my whatever laptop, but I won't post it. And one day I just posted it on. So that's how it started. Then I was like, oh, then the whole brand thing started, and I'm like, how can I use my gift and talents and, you know, do this and then also earn money, you know? But then I realized that this thing is no joke. You are literally putting your family like on commercial, so that, you know, especially the way I wanted to do it, like, you know, make videos about homemaking while reaching out. And I realized, like, it got to a point where we realized, especially with how the internet has become, that we don't really want to put the kids out there. I mean, apart from consent and those things, which is not even the biggest thing for us, is how we don't want the kids to know media the way we do. Like, we want them to grow naturally. We don't want our kids to be like, all this, is this self-indulgent? I'm not getting the right word, but we don't want them to be just so self about themselves, because camera on them every time. Hey, come and say hi to these people. These people are just here for entertainment. We just think the kids are really young for that. And so we are thinking, even if we do it, it won't be standard. You know, people say be yourself. The truth is that if you be yourself on here, especially if you say you're doing this for business, it's not gonna work. Okay, people say be yourself, be what. If be yourself works, people won't go for branding, influencing class, and you know how to speak and all of those things. So we finally got to a place where we are like, well, we don't really need that extra income, but we want to really shine our light out there and, you know, leave that, still do those home videos. So that's where this channel will come to. Like, we just post homeschool, how we do that here and there. The kids won't really be in your face. Of course, if they come in, I don't mind, but it won't be like I'm bringing my kid on to entertain you and stuff like that. Of course, once in a while you will see them entertaining you, but it is not going to be the goal of this channel. And another thing we decided was that we will stop doing hot topics on this channel. It's either we take it to our health channel. That was my first channel, really. It was about my holistic lifestyle and eating properly. Don't do this, don't do that. Don't use this pot, it's toxic. I actually wanted to do a review on the caraway pots because a lot of people buy it. It's so expensive, but they are not really non-toxic. But that's a thing for another time. And so we got to the place where we are like, we need to stop hot topics on this channel. So I will update you guys on what's going to be the future of this channel. But for now, just look out for shorts, like when we go out for our homeschool field trips or whatever. I'll put shorts here and there just to keep it alive, like breathing. And then when I start doing videos, that's why I'm saying ask me your questions about homeschooling. That will be my first coming back video on this channel, just to answer your questions about homeschooling for anybody who has been thinking or it's been on your heart but you're afraid. What about income? I think finances is one of the things that people think about a lot, because like maybe if you're in a country where the school is free and I'm like, why will I raise my kid at home, like school them at home and then pay for paint for this, whereas at school they get the paint for free, they go to sports for free. So those are some of the questions that people have, and I'm willing to answer how you can really homeschool almost close to zero. I mean, it's just how you want to do it. People will be like, I world school, I travel. You don't have to do it that way. You can just stay at your home and read and go to the market, come back, and that's it. It's just a life, how you're living. You're living with your children. That's all. Really just simple living. So I will end this video here, and I will see you in my next video. I'm expecting your questions in the comments. Bye-bye.